Speaking of insane behavior, a lot of people think it's insane that Bill Belichick, speaking of sports, at age 72, has a 24-year-old girlfriend and that he's now flaunting it on social media. So you've expressed to me some strong opinions about this, so the floor is yours.
Okay. I don't care how old someone is and how old the person is they're dating. That is not the issue here. Saturday night, I'm looking at my phone on Yahoo. There has to be at least 7 stories about Bill Belichick and his girlfriend. Here's
Google.
The pic on Yahoo. It was on Yahoo, yeah.
Okay.
You know, when you pull up Yahoo, the news, Yahoo News.
Oh, okay.
There's Bill with his girlfriend. He's on his back and she's doing a yoga position
on the
beach. Okay, that's one. Then we have another one of the two of them, Valentine's Day dinner, and she's posting something. Here we are. Then there's another one, her defending the age. It's like, why do you have to flaunt this? That's the problem I have. I don't care that they're dating and maybe they're happy and maybe they're in love, which is great. I don't care how old somebody is. If they find love with the tree, go date the tree. I don't care. But it's just this constant in your face. And he looks so uncomfortable in the pictures. And I remember watching Belichick when you were the biggest Tom Brady fan for the Patriots. I always had respect for him because I thought he was classy. He was kind of pop in the way of the Spurs, where when after they would do the press conference, he never really spoke that much. He was kind of curt and very arrogant and just kind of, very annoyed that they were even asking him what happened to the game. And I think he's a handsome guy. When he would wear the cutoff sweatshirt, I thought he was handsome on the field. But now he's become, I feel bad for him in these pictures. He looks so bad. He's almost like a puppet, and she's holding him up and she's got the blouse with her boobs hanging out, and she's using him as the reason to get the press, which, okay, but I feel bad for this man. And I just feel that why do you have to post 1,000 videos every single day? And now I read that he's included her in his new job, that they have to copy her on any social media emails going forward. So now she's part of that. So she's basically become the social media manager of their relationship. And that's where now it's going to be flooded. So that's my problem. I don't care about the age. I just care about why do you have to shove down everybody's throat? I know you don't have to read it, but it's just every time I look, there's another story. And so that's my beef.
Okay. I understand everything you said, but back to your point about he came across as classy in New England. I'm not sure he was ever classy to start with.
Well, that was just my perception watching him.
I think there's a lot of...
It was sophistication to me. Okay. And he was dating that woman for a long time that he was with.
Not his wife. But
no,
then,
the second one, but he was with her for 20 years.
She ran his charity foundation, I think. Yeah. They worked together and they would be seen in public at Celtics games. But he has a lot of scoundrel in him because he did get caught cheating in what was called Spygate, right?
Okay, so take away the classiness, but he didn't seem... He was never in the news. He really was not seeking attention back then with Tom Brady. Tom was overshadowing him, but he wasn't someone that you would see with this woman gossip magazines. She was out at charity functions with them, but it wasn't as though they were trying to get press. Yeah. Now he's just become...
Okay, so it was news to you when we first discussed this that he's now the head coach in college football at North Carolina, University of North Carolina.
No, now I know, yes.
Okay. So now he's playing a completely different game because now you have to actually recruit 18-year-olds, 17 and 18-year-olds to play college football for maybe 3 or 4 years for you. So there's no draft of players. Yeah. So it's a very different world that he's trying to crash because he's being paid a lot of money and the people in charge at Carolina are going to want immediate results. So he's actually playing to the 18-year-old crowd with a 24-year-old girlfriend as if to say to the kids out there, especially the males out there, oh, Bill's still got it.
Oh, I don't think
he's still got his fastball.
I totally think that's not going to help him. I don't think some 18-year-old guy is going to look and say, oh, look he's dating this girl and she's got a low-cut blouse on and she's hot, so I'm now going to go with him. I think they would look at him and they would laugh.
But he needs attention. He needs
he's
publicity.
Getting the attention, but remember, I don't think it's the right reason.
He spent all those years in New England avoiding attention at every step. He tried to say the least possible in press conferences. And now he needs splash attention because he needs to put himself back on the map in college football.
But he can put himself back on the map just by his credibility of what he's done for all these years as a coach. You don't, that speaks for him.
But a lot of the kids just aren't aware enough of that. They
I'm
want
sure
this
they know
cool
who Tom
factor.
Brady was.
Well, yeah, but they want the cool factor of, boy, he's got a hot girlfriend.
I don't think, honestly, my opinion, I don't think that's going to give him the credibility to these young guys. Wow, he's dating this 24-year-old. Now let's go sign with him.
Okay, I do. And I also
I don't
think
so.
He knows next to nothing about social media, and she probably knows a whole lot about social media because she's promoting
herself. It's not promoting, she's promoting him as a byproduct of her promotion.
So I understand why he would want her copied, because he would want her input on every social media endeavor that
I think he needs to get a new social media manager. I'm sorry.
Well, who's to say she isn't smart? Wouldn't she miss Maine or something?
So that makes her smart.
Well, maybe she knows how to promote herself on social media.
But she's promoting herself.
Maybe she's qualified to do that job. Well, I don't know.
Okay. Please.
Please? Okay, but you don't have a problem with 72 and 24?
No, I don't care if he was dating an 18-year-old. I have no problem with that at all.
I will warn him about this. I have no idea because I don't know anything about her, but will she eventually want to have, as she gets close to 30, children? Because if she does,
I'm sure he'll have
it ain't going to work. Do you think he'd have one?
Well, I guess they'll have him, and they can put the birth on social media.
I know, but would she want a child with him? This could be like 4 or 5 years down the road when he's going on 80 years of age.
How much money does he make?
Is it? I forget what he makes now. Is it $10 million a year?
No,
but he's made that much. He's made a lot of money over his time coaching the Patriots. A lot of money.
I don't know. I like Bill Belichick. I know you don't like him because of Tom and all that.
Well, I just thought Tom was the reason for that dynasty.
Yeah, okay, he was. But what I'm saying is, I never had a problem with Belichick. And again, I would watch him in the post interviews, and he seemed just very curt and just answer whatever questions, but he wasn't out in the social media world or in any People magazine, wherever. He wasn't splattered all over.
No,
he was under the radar.
Yeah.
So now that he's above the radar, but I don't think that...
Okay, does he look uncomfortable? Yes, he does.
He looks very uncomfortable.
Because he's never done this in his career life.
It's like she's propped him up, and he's just sitting there smiling for the camera. So I just think get another social media manager who's not that close and do the right social media that doesn't have to just have her in the picture with him.
Okay. All I know for sure is he better start winning a whole lot of football games, or North Carolina will have him on a short leash. Maybe she's got him on a short leash.
Maybe.
Okay.